Hello and welcome to the Election Corner on One Man Think Tank. This is the second of two 2020 election hot takes I'm releasing today, November 2nd, 2020. There will also be two more released tomorrow on Election Day, one for the Senate, one for the presidency. You're currently watching the one for the presidential election. I've just released the one for the Senate a bit earlier, so you can watch that after this if you haven't already. Now, given the fact this is a hot take, I'm not going to be doing my usual leans, likely, toss-up, etc. I'm just going to make a call. Is the state currently looking red or currently looking blue? If it's currently looking red, I'll color it in as a Republican. If it's currently looking blue, I'll color it in as a Democrat, and work from there. Now, as you know, with toss-up states, things are close, but I'm just making the call what I think's going to happen 51% of the time. So, let's start off by just knocking out some safe seats for both parties that everyone already knows. So, for example, Biden's going to win everything that the Democrats won in 2016. It's not going to be that shocking. However, I'll just throw in a pickup for him here. Maine's 2nd district he will win, based on what I've seen so far. While Donald Trump has a lot of good feelings out in the Great Plains area, but first other flip, Nebraska's 2nd district will go to the Democrats. I know in my official predictions, I said it's actually in favor of the Republicans, but after reviewing the data last night, I realized I was very wrong about that, and the 2nd district actually has a very solid chance of flipping. So for now, we're putting it as a Democratic win, in this case for Joe Biden. However, Trump controls much of the heartland of America in his politicking. So, as well as a good chunk of the Deep South, especially along the Mississippi rivers. River. Now, he's also going to win South Carolina. We'll do the Rust Belt last, because that's the most interesting part for a lot of people. Trump's going to win Alaska. I know that was a bit contentious. I'm calling Arizona for the Democrats. I know it's tightened slightly, but given the margins in the Senate race and overall Democratic turnout in the state, I'm willing to bet Joe Biden's going to win. Down to Florida, a very contentious state, one I believe yesterday I said was going to go red. I'm now making the call today. It's going to go blue. And Georgia, which I said was going to go blue, is going to go red. These two states are on the cusp of flipping, of either being red or blue. And today I'm thinking Georgia probably going to go red. Tomorrow it might be blue. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what turnout's looking like and reports from the ground. Florida, Biden's had a consistent lead. He is just slightly out of that 3-point margin that I would say Democrats seem to have in the polls that they don't get to keep on Election Day, but also the fact Biden is doing incredibly well with elderly voters is another reason. North Carolina, going blue. Biden's polling well enough, and the Democrats are by far and away taking the gubernatorial and Senate races. As such, North Carolina, gonna call it blue. Pennsylvania we'll get back to in a moment when we do the Great Lakes. But let's do the fun one, Texas. Gonna make a big call here. Texas is going blue. I know I've said that before. I think there's a good chance Texas will go blue this time. We're talking like 55% chance. And if someone handed you a gun and said had a 45% chance of shooting you in the head, you wouldn't shoot that gun. So, keep in mind actual odds here, but I'm calling blue Texas this time around. High turnout, high Democratic enthusiasm. That could sink the Republicans. I might be revising my call tomorrow based on what we see in day of turnout. Now, up to the Great Lakes and Rust Belt. Let's give one to the Republicans. Ohio will go Republican, I'm willing to bet. Numbers are in favor of Donald Trump, and also just in my gut, I have a strange feeling that Ohio, which has always overperformed for Republicans in past years, especially in races that were supposed to be contentious, will overperform slightly for Trump. As such, he will win Ohio, retaining it. He'll also win Iowa. I know a lot of people are drawing correlation between Nebraska's 2nd district and Iowa. I don't think there's enough there. I think we've seen enough of a disconnect between the Senate race and the presidential election that a majority of Iowan swing voters are willing to scapegoat Joni Ernst in order to continue voting for Trump. But now we have the last 3 states of the Rust Belt, the 3 that theoretically cost Hillary Clinton the election, and I'm going to just say all 3 are going blue. Joe Biden has polled incredibly well there in the past couple days of polling, 2 or 3 weeks. He's been above 50% consistently. that wins him it, and this is the final map I am predicting based off of the hot take for today, which is 373 votes for the Democrats, 165 votes for the Republicans, meaning Joe Biden wins, and not just wins, but in a landslide. So, with all that being said, if you like the video, drop a like down below, and also leave a comment. I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions on what I've posted, if I've made a bad call, if I've made a good call, or how you would change it. If you want to see more from this channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to be alerted when new content is released. And if you want to hear more from me outside of YouTube, I do have a Twitter, at OneManThinkTan1, the Roman numeral, link in the description. Otherwise, as always, have a wonderful day.